Aloha mai kako. I'm here to talk a little bit about how I got into this line of work. I'm actually a horticulturalist. I'm an aspiring food systems advocate, and I was going to rely very heavily on my images. Oh, thank you. I forgive you, man. It's all right. It's all right. I can talk fast. Oh, there we are right there. I've got them on my iPad. Okay. Well, I should take advantage of the extra time I'm going to have, shouldn't I? Everybody enjoying it so far? I want to acknowledge the two previous speakers. That was outstanding. Yeah. I was concerned about being the third speaker because I know the bar was going to be set pretty high, but and it was. Yeah, and it was true. We got them? Okay. Oh, that's the last one. No, oh, you're ruining it. You're showing all my pictures. Oh, man. So I'm a huge fan. Thank you. Perfect. I'm a huge fan of AI, recognizing the potential challenges. And so DALL-E helped me create some of these images. So I'm a horticulturalist. My father, both my parents actually are pharmacists. Are we going to reset the clock, or do I have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left? Okay, so thank you. So both my parents are pharmacists, but my father was a horticulturalist, an amateur horticulturalist. He loved orchids. My mother loved roses, so he spent a lot of time cultivating those in our yard in Waimānalo. So I was also kind of an aspiring horticulturalist as a young kid, but it wasn't until I was 5th grade, maybe, picking limes from our lime tree. And it really was an epiphany moment. I remember it. I project, I think, some of the thoughts later in life as an adult on that moment. But really, I remember self-sufficiency, the idea that we're actually pulling food from our yard. How powerful. And the idea that growing food and the ability to grow food is probably one of the most powerful tools, one of the most powerful skills around. And really made me want to be a food producer, or at least be involved in the food system. So I was in the botany club, I was in FFA, and then I majored in horticulture as an undergraduate, and I got my bachelor's. Next slide. So I thought I knew quite a bit about food systems by the time that I joined the Peace Corps and went to West Africa. As one of my mentors said, I was young enough to know everything at the time. And boy, did I know nothing. So I was an agroforestry volunteer in West Africa for a couple of years. And I was very confused about the food system. Peanuts were very important. Peanuts had gotten there from South America and then got to North America from West Africa as part of the transatlantic slave trade, food on the ships, and had become a staple. As a staple food is also a cash crop. And I observed farmers growing peanuts, selling all their peanuts to pay for debts from the previous year, and then incurring more debt so they could buy peanuts for their food. It made no sense to me. And I realized that it really was, food systems is more about more than just production. Production is actually a very small part of food systems. And the inequities embedded in agricultural systems, the legacies of colonialism, all of those things are a huge part of it. So I had a lot to learn. Next slide, please. But I doubled down on my education. My mother always told me, if you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. So I got my master's and my PhD, and then came home for a job, faculty at University of Hawaii, and was very confused still about how to make a dent in this complex food systems where traditional food systems were held in great esteem, but the actual food system was very different, and they coexisted, but the energies really were not going where they should. And so, it took me a while to figure out, what to do, and I still haven't quite figured it all out. And if we go to the next slide, please. We, as part of the University of Hawaii system, the College of Tropical Agriculture, very fortunate to have lots of research stations with a lot of land. And in Hawaii, especially on Oahu, where I'm from, space is a luxury. There's not a lot of places where people can go to grow food. And so with the help of a lot of folks, we bring people on to our stations. And that was an epiphany to me that we need to bring people onto the stations. And if we go to the final slide, it's only been recently that I've felt like I have any real proficiency in advocating for equitable food systems, and it's largely because of IRL and because of my teammates. So you'll hear from Ilima tomorrow, Dr. Jane Chando. I really was not a collaborator in the way I wanted to be until I got involved with IRL here. So I want to mahalo everybody, especially my teammates, and thank you very much. Aloha.